Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Neals Next Door. My name is Darren. If this is your very first time, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. That way you can stay up to date on all my latest videos. If you are probably here, it is probably because you started watching some of my other Kia Telluride videos. And I appreciate you guys for joining the Neals Next Door family. Hopefully it's not too loud. The garbage truck just drove past. But I figured, like I told you guys in my last video, I'm going to keep giving you guys updates on the ownership of the Telluride, how I like it so far, because a lot of you guys are in the market for it, considering it, or just waiting for it, because I know a lot of you guys are waiting 3 to 4 months for yours to get delivered. So I'm just here to answer any questions you guys might have in my previous videos, as well as kind of give you guys my thoughts. So I officially hit 33,000 miles. I actually just got my very first oil change today. I figured to get it done now. We just came back from a road trip. It was 800 miles round trip down to Florida. So I figured now that we knocked that first road trip out the door, I could kind of come back and let you guys know my impressions and so far what I think. Let me start off by saying this. I never thought memory seats was going to be such a pain in the ass, but not having memory seats is really a lot more inconvenient than I thought it was. I thought maybe, hey, I was spoiled for the past couple years. Every car we've had always had memory seats. It's not a big deal. I remember growing up, I used to have the window that you had to roll down. And I was like, hey, it is what it is. But when we took that road trip and you find that perfect spot that you think is comfortable and you can sit there for hours, it makes you not want to change drivers, because then you have to go back and try to find that perfect spot again, which is almost impossible. So the memory seats thing, for that alone, I would say opt for the SX version so that you could actually get the memory seats, because it's not available on the EX, even with the Prestige package. So keep that in mind, you guys. I'm gonna close the door for a little while until the garbage truck goes past. So that is my biggest gripe at this point. It's really that the memory seats thing. It's kind of annoying, especially with 2 drivers. It's not going to be too much of a big deal now because Shirell is going to use this as her daily driver. And I probably wouldn't really drive it too often anymore unless it's like the weekend to get get the oil change and stuff like that, or, maybe to go get gas for her. But for the most part, this is going to be the car that she drives around. Main reason why, it was the gift for her as the luxury SUV that she wanted, and it was supposed to be, take care of that, and that's good to go from there. It was kind of like a congratulation gift for her career going great. Mix that in with our anniversary and all that wonderful stuff. Just knock her all at once, right? So that is why we got the Snow White Pearl, because she already had a Snow White Pearl Optima. I'll be driving the Optima now because that used to be her car. And so it's not going to be too much of a big deal with the memory seats because she's going to be the person driving it most of the time. But I'll still be doing the update videos, kind of let you guys know what I think. Now, with that being said, talking about gas, this thing drinks gas like crazy. It says that I'm averaging 21 miles per gallon. Is an 18.5 gallon fuel tank. It says I'm averaging 21 miles per gallon, but I don't actually think that's accurate because my gas mileage drops dramatically, man. I don't know if it's because I've been just driving around a lot and not really thinking about how much I've been driving, but gas-wise, yeah, you're burning through some fuel, so keep that in mind. I was able to average 26 miles per gallon down to Florida, though, but that was using smart cruise control for 160 miles straight. Side note, that's going to bring me to my next point. I kind of gave the lane keep assist a little bit of a hard time in the last video, and I want to apologize because I wasn't using it correctly. When you use it on regular roads, it's there, but it kind of lets you do your thing. When you get it on a highway and you turn on smart cruise control, boy, this thing quickly straightens up the steering wheel, centers itself in a lane, and just start cruising. Once you get used to the fact that it's driving itself and it's just doing its thing, and you're not sitting there bothering it, it will keep you in a lane, it will keep everything going, It will let the person in front of you, it will slow down based on how close the person is in front of you, based on distance. You turn your turn signal on, get into the next lane, and it'll take back to 70 miles per hour wherever you set it to, and it'll keep going. If there's a change in the speed limit and it's on the navigation and there's a change in the speed limit, it will also change the speed limit also. So I set it to 70, and then when the speed limit dropped to 65, it automatically fixed and dropped to 65 for me. When it went back up to 70, it actually adjusted it for me as well. So that was fantastic. I used Smart Cruise Control for 160 miles straight, and it was a beautiful thing. Like I said, I did average about 26 to 27 miles per gallon while using it, so that was fantastic on its own. Also, let's talk about road trip wise. Biggest thing with getting a car for Sherelle was something where, especially with an SUV, where she wouldn't feel that she was driving something like a boat. And this has more than enough power. She didn't complain one bit about having to get in and out of traffic when she wanted to. It does everything she wants. It picks up really good. Everything is great. This is kind of what it looks like on a regular basis. You guys know, Snow White Pearl. It is the EX model, NightFall package. Yeah, I am going to get the roof wrapped in black. It only is going to cost me $250 to do, so that's going to get done in a couple weeks. So it's going to be wrapped right between those, between the roof racks. It's going to get, the entire roof is going to get wrapped. Plus, this rear spoiler is going to get wrapped also. So we'll see how that looks. I'll let you guys know what that looks like here. But yeah, this is just what it looks like on the inside. More than enough space, man. We went on a road trip, like I said, for the very first time, and we dropped down the third row, and we packed this car out, and I still have more than enough space above to where it didn't block the window. We were able to bring everything we wanted without any issues. The kids had more than enough room to move around. We didn't have to sit here with a whole bunch of bags. Everything was clean down here. Only thing we had was some kid snacks in this small little walk-through area, but everything was pretty smooth. The charging ports on the back of the chairs came in really handy. And my daughter loves the climate control in the back, so she can kind of get as much air as she wants, because she's like me, she gets really hot. Sherelle's always cold, so it doesn't really work out. Now, in the back, you do get cup holders back here in each door. They don't really, I mean, they're kind of tight, so, you know, you keep that with a grain of salt. The kids use these a lot more, though, and their own cup holders inside the car seat. But if you have older kids, then it's not too big deal. I would say this: if you're a family of 4, definitely consider this vehicle, man. You're gonna have more than enough space. Even if you're a family 2, it's not that big, man. Somebody actually reached out to me, asked me if it's too big for just him and his wife and his dog. Nah, man, you'll enjoy it. It's smaller than a Ford Explorer, and a lot of people buy those, and it's just them. So you could definitely get away with this. You won't have a problem. All right, so let me get to another point that I've realized during my ownership so far. One thing I really like about this car is we drove down to Disney, and Disney is family central. It's where you're going to see every single family car available. And to be honest with you, I think I've seen about 5 Tellurides the entire time I was down there. Everyone had Honda Pilots, the Infinity truck, Ford Explorers, Expeditions, and all those stuff. They're all over the place, but I've only ran into about 5 or 6 Tellurides. I actually seen a lot more Palisades than I seen Telluride. So that actually was really key for us, because, you know, even though they're hard to get your hands on, you would have thought they're going to be a whole bunch on the road, but no. They're doing a really good job limiting inventory. So you do feel some sort of, you feel unique. You know, you don't feel like you're just driving what everyone else is driving. And it still gets a lot of looks like, what the hell is that? Like, people are interested to find out what it is. Everybody loves how it looks. When I go to the car wash, everyone comes to look by and say, is this a Kia? Yeah, it's a Kia, man. Hop on a Kia train, man. Get yourself a 100,000 mile 10-year warranty. So everyone does turn their head when you're in this truck, and that's cool, man. You know, it's kind of one of those things where, you know, I feel like I'm getting a good value for the money, and being able to get value but still have something that's, you know, luxurious and just nice, and I appreciate that. So I can't really complain. So that alone, I'll definitely suggest getting one. Actually, one of my comments in my last video, a guy said the same thing. He said he has a SX, and everywhere he goes, he get people turn their heads to look at what he's driving, and it's amazing. It's pretty cool. I guess if you want to be low key, that's probably not a selling point. But if you do want something that's nice, people will admire it as you drive by, but you don't want to break the bank, I'll definitely take a swing at the Telluride. Now, I just got my very first oil change today, and I didn't realize it only took synthetic. So it was actually like $100 for the oil change, which I wasn't ready for, but I was already there and say, hey, let's do it. Technically, I could probably wait until 5,000 miles to get an oil change, but by habit, I'm in the 3,000 mile mark, and I figured let me just get it done. Plus, we just took a road trip, so I figured, you know what, we probably won't be going anywhere for the next month or two, so get the oil change now. I don't have to worry about it during the school year, and just kind of go from there. So keep that in mind if you kind of are considering a Telluride. Understand that you are going to go to gas station lot. You are going to go and have to pay $100 for an oil change. So if that's not something you want to do, you might want to keep that in mind. Now, the navigation system is a little weird. When I was going to Florida, it had a hard time finding the address I was putting in, and I couldn't get it to work. Like it just wasn't working. And it happened the entire time I was in Florida, where it just wasn't finding any addresses. So I ended up just using CarPlay, which is not a big deal, but I would prefer sometimes to use the built-in navigation instead of CarPlay, because I don't like to always keep my phone charging at all times. I just prefer just to kind of use the car's navigation when I can. But it is what it is. I probably won't keep. I don't know. I'm on the fence if I should continue paying for Sirius. We've been paying it for years, so I don't know if it's going to be a big deal not paying for it, but we'll figure that out when that time comes, because you get 3 months for free when you buy it. And then we already have a plan with the Optimus, so we might just add it to the Optimus plan. We'll see. I'll figure that out later. All right, I also have an update on the auto on off feature that is built in, that it automatically turns on every single time you turn the car on. I actually had a couple people in my comments say that they took this car off their list for that simple fact. It was annoying at first. But if you're just using it around town, it actually doesn't really bother me as I thought it would. You really only notice it if you have to come to a stop sign and you have to really get into traffic and you have to put your foot on the gas. That's when you feel that little jerk. But if you're just in regular stop and go traffic, driving around in town, you probably wouldn't honestly know unless it's hot, because it does take the AC off, which it gets hot in Georgia. So that's one of the main reasons I take it off. But it's now kind of second nature, just hopping in the car, turning it off, and go about there. Now, what is it like moving around town, driving around town with it? It takes some getting used to, because it doesn't look that big, but it actually is really bigger than it actually looks. And the hood, I don't know if you guys see that, but the hood, you can't see the lines in front of the road if you're in a parking lot. So sometimes you just have to kind of guess and estimate. You get used to where your truck is you get used to it, but you do have to kind of sometimes just take a stab and say, let's see if this works. So if you have the SX, I know it comes with the 360-degree camera, so that'll probably help, but we don't have that. So Shirell sometimes does struggle with seeing over the hood. It's just easier to back into lot spots, so we back in most of the time at this point. Even when coming into the garage, you can't really judge how far it is compared to the wall. So, we usually just reverse into the garage to make life easier for ourselves. And it fits in the garage very well. It is a lot bigger than the Sorento on the inside, but garage space, it doesn't really take up too much more space than the Sorento did. So I can't complain with that. I wish the remote start worked a little bit better, because you lock it, it's already locked, but you have to press the lock button again, then you have to hold the button. But the range doesn't seem really far, so I guess if you're just in the driveway, it should work. But like if you're trying to walk to your car from far, you could unlock your car and lock it. That works, but when you try to turn the remote start on, it doesn't even sense it. So you know, that's kind of finicky at that point. I finally realized that the rear tail lift gate, the automatic lift gate, I was messing that up by not standing in the right spots. There are a couple spots that you should stand in order to get it to work. But I was messing that up, so I can't really complain too much about that anymore. Oh, one thing. When you want to get gas, there's no button on this side. You got to come out here and press this thing, which I guess isn't too bad, but it's kind of weird. The LED headlights that comes with the Prestige package, fantastic. Fantastic, man. I always complained about drivers that had LED bright headlights on the road, how it was blinding me. Now that I have it and I can pretty much see into tomorrow, I don't give a damn about anybody else. I love those things, man. They brighten things up. I can see everything's great, especially if you're driving in the back roads, you know, deers be hopping out. So kind of get as nice, wide, bright, and far. So I enjoy it. All right, so I'm not going to beat this too much because, you know, I'm going to be posting videos on a regular basis, and I just want to kind of give you guys a quick update. But I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll go another video around to kind of let you guys see the outside of the car again. I'll do an update on when I actually do the roof. So that's the next update videos after I get the roof wrapped, so you guys can see that. But if you guys have any questions, definitely leave it in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer all the questions that pops up. And we'll just go from there. And do I got anything else? Really don't have anything else. It's pretty spacious back there. Really have no kink. Really easy to clean. The vacuum gets everywhere, so I made a vacuum out very well. Yeah, I have no problems with that. I wanted to get a trunk liner, but they said the trunk liner doesn't really work too well when you put the third row seats up. It just flops back down. So I just said forget it. I didn't worry about it. I'm considering getting all-weather mats, but Shirell doesn't like them when it's wet because it feels slippery. But I'm thinking about getting them maybe for easy cleanup. We'll see how that works, because we have them in an Optima, and it does make life easy, vacuum up the dirt and stuff like that, but it does get kind of dirty and it's kind of hard to clean. So I don't know if I should just keep the regular mats and just keep shampooing them when I have a chance, because I just shampooed them today. But yeah, everything is going pretty well. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you guys for watching, and until next time, people, have a good one.